Okay, so this is just a kind of a wrap-up video that I want to take a little time here. And I just want to thank some people that had a little bit to do with the celebration of life for Dennis. And that's the Wisconsin Patriot Guard Riders, John Kieran, the state captain, the Oregon Police Department, Chief Ewell, the Holy Mother of Consolation Church, and yes, it's still standing, even though I've been there. The active duty Marines for the flag folding and presentation. The Oregon Brooklyn Honor Guard that did the 3-volley salute. Angie Campbell, who did our national anthem. And all of you there for joining in with me on the Pledge of Allegiance. Steve Westfall, and that is with a T, Steve, for helping me get the room set up, the chairs out, and along with Al Bentley that helped Steve with that project. Dave Goplin for the invocation and benediction. Steve Bartlett from the Badger Honor Flight. J.L. Richards, Kim Swenson, particularly for the catering. And the anonymous patriot who doesn't want to be known that paid for the catering. And I know exactly the reason why she does not want it known, and can't blame her. The people that have met me at the Belleville Fish Fry on Friday night have asked me about the shirt that I'm wearing and what this means up in here. And Red Shirt Fridays began a long time ago, and it's a way of wearing a red shirt on Friday for the military that deploys in our wars. And red means R-E-D, remember everyone deployed. So I didn't want one of those average t-shirts that you can buy on the internet, and I found this company that had this really nice Marine Corps logo. I could customize it with 2 lines, and that's why I put that on there. And you asked me what that R-E-D was, and that's what it means. And of course I had my unit on there as well. So I really like this shirt on Friday, and I'll be wearing it, on Friday Night Fish Fry as well. So I want to talk about Dennis and how tough he is. Just like with the story about wrestling, because it came down a lot of times to where Dennis had to win that match for the team to win, or he had to not get pinned and we would still win. And Dennis was so tough, he pulled that off so many times. And when I speak about his toughness, I think about his 2 days to 2 week sentence that he got a year ago in July, and he hangs on tough for another year. And I'm really glad that he did, because we had the chance to top off our friendship, our Marine Corps veteran title, with going on the Badger Honor Flight together. So I also want to tell you about one more story, because I had so many of them on the list and I crossed them off to save time. And I spoke of the cream of the crop stories, and then I did throw one extra one in because we were doing okay on time. But there were 2 other ones that I didn't want to tell, and I'm just going to tell one today. And that's a story about that involves Diane and me both. Diane had a friend whose daughter was a stunt person in Hollywood and was injured on one of the movie sets. And they had a fundraiser for this girl, this stunt person. And at the fundraiser, the big prize of the day on the raffle was a motorcycle. So I buy this raffle ticket, I tell Diane, I'm going to win this motorcycle. So at the end of the day, what happens? I win the motorcycle. So I take it home, and Dennis shows up sometime later, I don't remember how long, but he gets to my house and I'm making him dinner and getting him comfortable and having a good time. He spots the motorcycle in my garage and he said, what do you got that for? So I told him the story, and he wanted to ride it. Now I'm on a hill and there's quite a ways he could ride this bike. So I take it down and I go around a couple of times. I give it to Dennis. He gets on it, And he does pretty good. He goes around, he's having a good old time, and he gets back to the top, and I says to him, hey, why don't you ride up that steep part of the hill, because that's the best part, where I rode, and then come on back up. So Dennis takes off, and he's going down, and he starts to come up that steep part of the hill, and here comes the front wheel up. Now it's going to flip, but right when it gets to the point of throwing him off, and this goes back to Dennis and his facial expressions, and why I say that it came natural to him versus like Jackie Gleason, who practiced those facial expressions. But as that bike is coming up, getting ready to flip, Dennis looks up there at me, and he has this look on his face like, it's either help me, or is Ray watching me screw up here? Well, I really don't know what the expression was, but I got a feeling he was embarrassed and wanted to know if I was looking, and I was dying laughing. But Dennis did get a little hurt on that. I believe it was on his leg when he flipped the bike. But he felt better later on, and then he took off, and that was it. But you people that know Dennis, you know what I'm talking about when I say about his facial expressions. And that's just one time, it just sticks in my head. I can still see him now looking at me. So anyways, I've overstayed the time that I wanted to be in Wisconsin, but there was a reason for it. Some was personal, and I'm not obviously going to talk about that too much time or whatever, but I also had some important duties here in Wisconsin, and it involves the state capitol. So I have this this list here of 19 names that I wanted to see at our state capitol, and for those of you that know me, you could probably guess who's on these 19, who these 19 names are. They're all state senators. Now, I've met with the staffers of 17 of the 19 so far. I'm going to meet 2 more today. I actually met with 2 of the state senators, and one was Kathleen Bernier, and the other one was Jerry Petrowski. And I really had a good time with Kathy, because we talked for about 45 minutes, and not just about my resolution, but also everything kind of like Wisconsin. And her grandson, because her grandson's in the Marine Corps and just graduated a couple months ago from boot camp. And then Jerry Petrowski was really fun too, because he was also into Angus. And when he asked me where in Oregon I was from, I told him, I said we had a Angus farm out there. He looked at me and he says, Aberdeen? And I looked at Jerry and I'm like, is there another kind? So we had a nice talk about farming and whatnot, but also the resolution. And so I spent about 25 minutes with Jerry, and really a good conversation. So and then I got a call from 2 of the staffing ones, 2 other senators that want to meet with me before I go back to Wisconsin. And we're trying to set that up for probably today, later on. And I'll see these other 2, and maybe more, before I get out of here. Now, speaking of getting out of here, I am leaving Wisconsin right after the fish fry dinner on Friday night. I'm headed to Missouri. I'm going to make a stop in Missouri to do a little tribute to where my mom and dad grew up. But I have grandparents that are buried there. I have an uncle buried there. So I'm kind of going to I'm in the area. It's 15 minutes off of my interstate. I'm going to stop by there, and then from there I'm headed to California, because I need to be back by Sunday night late or Monday. So anyways, I appreciate all the lunches and get-togethers beyond the celebration of life with classmates that wanted to get together with me one-on-one. Those were always fun. And I want to, again, thank everybody for coming. And if you're not doing anything on Friday, it's the last fish fry, guaranteed, that I'll be at for a while. So show up out there in Belleville right around 6 o'clock, and I'll see you before I take off. See you later, Wisconsin.